Ka East-West Group of Institution Bangalore, ka khot admission na kabanta ka nursing but paramedical course, kabala ithu da ka Indian Nursing Council, ka buy admission ka badunatam, but she's pa percent ka jinyokam. Pila ru ban apply da ka education loan.
Nonghikai ki badan hak shatri ka Meghalaya School and Colleges under deficit grant in aid. Haka arpoi terip yoyong arjar arpun rio kila 1 ha Shillong Press Club. Banyakran halor ki mat ki berdei ba kejingpen bana ka sorkar kata kejingpen jalan ya ka pension scheme. Habakran sigilat pathai khubor na kalyang ki Nonghikai kila penpau kejing sngongo ya ka sorkar jala hadian bakala syam ya karai banpen jalan ya ka pension scheme na ka banta ki Nonghikai. Kila penpau pat kejing snodiau halor kejing Pyntreikam ya ka pension scheme arjar arpun rio wat hadian bala dep ban Mynjur lang ban Pyntreikam baik da ka pension scheme arjar arpulai. Nolor kata kila ong ba wat la ka ni ka kam ka dei ka badang don menta hayeng kasari na kalyang ka sorkar jala kala yat bet syakmat ban Pyntreikam ya ka.
That on the 1st of April 2026 this year, some 3 weeks back, the Honorable Chief Minister announced that the Meghalaya Non-Government Schools and Colleges Employees Centralized Fund Scheme 2026 was approved by the Cabinet. As per this scheme of 2026, the Chief Minister said that the employees of non-government schools and colleges will be able to avail the benefits of the Provident Fund in a structured and secure manner. Implied in the Provident Fund, as per the Meghalaya Non-Government School and Colleges Employees Centralized Provident Fund Scheme Act of 1969, we understand that the deficit staff, both teaching and non-teaching, are to get a pension scheme. We welcome a pension scheme that is extended to us as per the Act and the law, and in recognition of our contribution to society, especially in shaping young minds, the students. We appreciate also the government's recognition of our service and its commitment towards the education sector, especially us, the educators. However, as the main stakeholders, the teaching and non-teaching staff in deficit grant and aid institutions all across Meghalaya, schools and colleges, we are deeply concerned with this announcement of the Chief Minister on the 1st of April. The pension scheme that was announced on that day, the pension scheme of 2026, and it was notified by the Education Department of the Government of Meghalaya, was put up in the internet and views were sought on it sometime in January, February of this year. We, the members of the various associations and stakeholders, after discussing threadbare the set pension scheme of 2026, that was circulated on this public platform, we had unanimously rejected the same scheme of 2026, and we have also sent our objections and rejections to the Education Department. Further, despite our unanimous rejections submitted to the government through our different associations as stakeholders, the government has sadly gone ahead with the process of implementation of the rejected scheme, the scheme of 2026. As per the government's intent of forcefully implementing the pension scheme of 2026, contrary to the matter being sub judice in court, the Education Department, through a letter, has issued a notification recently instructing and directing stakeholders, the members of the teaching and non-teaching staff in schools and colleges, both retired and currently serving, to open our individual PRAN accounts. PRAN. permanent retired account number. Here, may I inform the members through you, our friends in the press, and we would like to place on record that an earlier draft pension scheme of 2023 had been circulated, and it was thoroughly discussed, and it was mutually agreed upon and approved also by the government and the stakeholders as per the record of the court. There are many orders of the court that pertain to this. This pension scheme of 2023 is not the same as the recently announced notified scheme of 2026. It is completely different. Secondly, may I state that we, the stakeholders, those appointed before April 2010, had in all good faith and intention signed our consent, and accordingly we have transferred our provident funds as per the government's instruction to the Central Provident Fund account in SBI Lajamkra branch. We expected during that transfer a just retirement benefit, which is mandated by the Act, again the Act of 1969. This retirement benefit would be in the form of the draft pension scheme of 2023. Important to note here that our members of the teaching and non-teaching staff in Meghalaya have been divided into two categories by the court, also by the government, acknowledged by the government. Teachers who were appointed before April 2010 would come under the CPF scheme under the Meghalaya Provident Fund Act of 1969, and those who were appointed from April 2010 onwards would come under the NPS. In fact, the office memorandum through a notification was sent to schools and colleges to implement this NPS sometime in 2024. But till now, nothing has happened. So we express our disappointment. Disappointment with regard to this clubbing of all stakeholders under the same umbrella, under this recently announced notified scheme of 2026. So in light of the above, of these points that I've just discussed, we reiterate our complete faith in the judicial process, in the High Court. As I said earlier, the matter is sub judice, and we remain hopeful that as per the Act and the law and the notifications that were served earlier, justice will be delivered. We urge also the government to act in consonance with established legal provisions and in the best interest of teachers and the non-teaching staff as well, particularly the retired members of the deficit staff who are currently facing financial hardship, instability after years of dedicated service due to the delay in the implementation of this Act of 1969. Related to that, the pension scheme of 2023.
The recent announcement of the pension scheme of 2026, it has thrown everything into a traumatizing situation for each one of us. Because the reason is, we agreed to the mutually approved scheme, the pension draft scheme of 2023. We consented, and that is why our accumulated CPF entire amount has been transferred to the newly created fund. But since 2024, the money is lying dormant. I do not know, and we do not know, what is happening to that money. Well, the recent development is something that we strongly condemned. Condemned because it is a very inhuman action on the part of the government. You know, we in the retired teachers, we believe, we are of the opinion that this scheme, was something that they're trying to circumvent the law. The matter that is more concerning is that the state government total disregard to the legal process. When the matter is sub judice, as you have heard, where we expect that the state government, who should lead from the front as law abiding, they should have respected it. Now, the fact that this scheme of 2026 has been announced by our Honorable Chief Minister, I am again in shock. And we are in shock because we have an opinion that maybe our Chief Minister do not know about the background and the history of this entire pension matter case. He has not been fed in a proper way. He has not been misled. Otherwise, our respectable Honorable Chief Minister, who being very intelligent, would not have come out and make that announcement. So we totally condemned it. Condemned for the offensive action. Offensive action more so committed by the state government. Now we also have, we gathered and we feel deceived. We feel betrayed because, as I said, we previously agreed to transfer our accumulated CPF to a centralized pension fund. The 2023, I reiterate what the leaders of the organizations have mentioned. It was in compliance with the MPF Act of 1969. And this is the background, the premise on which this pension matter has been at the center. Now, furthermore, the 2026 scheme is detrimental to the interest and well-being of the petitioners. Now, more so, especially to the retired teachers, as it has been spoken, has been shared, that it is an annuity model. What are we as retired teachers to do with that model? That is a question. What are we to do? Because this scheme, it is applicable to the new entrants and not for people who have already served selflessly for years together. Now, where do we stand? Will this delay carry on? Will the government play its game to a point where we feel traumatized? The escalating cost is hitting us. How do we face? And I remember an article that came in a local newspaper. Holding on for survival. For how long? It is my money. It is our money. Why are we not being given that 50%? This is again inhuman on the part of the government. So, members of the press, ST members, this is a point that we would like you to focus, to throw it open to the general public, because we have always been misunderstood. And throughout our service career, the government has never given us anything what we deserved. It is a matter of right. For everything we have to fight. So why is this attitude towards the teachers? And as one of the author of the letter said, for how long? Do we need a tragedy like a coal mine to happen? And then you will institute a judicial inquiry? Well, I appeal to the Chief Minister with your intelligence, with your concern, saying that the government is people-centric. Make it people-centric. Don't just lip sync and say that every policies, interventions of the government are people-centric. It is not. I am taking as the matter of the retired teachers per se. Now, talking about this applicability of the annuity model, this model, it is being discarded by the retired teachers. Now, as I mentioned, it is meant for whom? For the new entrants. So where do we go about? You say 50% you're giving, 50% you keep. What will you do with that money? This is again illegal. We are not seeking charity. Please hear, Mr. Chief Minister. We are not seeking charity. We are seeking the implementation of the 2023 scheme, the scheme that you have placed before us, the scheme that you have submitted, and we discussed threadbare about it. And as members had said, it is in the know of the Honourable Court. So as law-abiding citizens, we continue to trust in the judiciary's fairness to rectify this blatant injustice. Where do we stand as retired teachers?
Haba Tien, pej bahagi kashab plus F.
Ka plus F?
Hakabam bangibam dunaki eki bataya kamet. Namar kata haba thiru atau kau kamlo ka umpnyang kadut pej ya kashab plus F haka jingsom. Yaki nutrient kumki vitamin bat ka iron la icon diat bat ka bathau bha kam kta ka dur jingki marbam ka jing mat la ne ka rukom shed yaki balehi banai kita ka don ka we ka jing mentoy ba kongsan ka kot ka khia ka nutrition ba khambha ka jing im ba khambha pendon kam daki marbam madon ka sharp plus F menta kasni
Lawan Ra Shafi Lingba ko office jong Commissionerate of Food Safety Meghalaya